Okay, we are recording. So today we're going to talk about form. And what page is that in your red book? Form. Who's got that page?
It's page 100 through 101.
Yell it out. I don't know.
Yellow.
Okay, where's your red book? Where's your red book?
I'm sorry.
Okay, if you are watching this video because you were absent, what you should do is read about form in your red book. This is what page?
1 through 101.
100 through 101. Thank you very much. So make sure if you want to read, if you're missing, here's where form starts in your book on 101. And that's all you need to do. Just read that. So, for taking notes, what do you think? What number are we starting with? What number is form? Wake up, everybody. Huh? 9? Okay, 9 is form. And you should have already written that down, right? Because you're so smart. And you're, what?
Bailey says it's 10.
It's 10. Who knows?
I don't know.
Somebody knows because they're looking at their handout. It's 10? Oh, you're going to make the teacher do all the work.
It's 10.
10. All right. I think everybody agrees on 10. That's right. 10 is correct. Okay. So instead of 9, you should write 10. And you're going to write form, right? And the one, what comes next? You guys can save lots of time if you, the definition. All right, excellent. Write that down. And what is the definition? See if you can find that on your own. Oh, yes, I heard the definition. Good job. A+. Objects that have 3 dimensions. Okay, what do you think we're going to write next in our notes? Anybody? Anybody seeing a pattern being formed here? We're going to want to know what those 3 dimensions are, right? Okay. Bless you. Alright, so those 3 dimensions are, and this is where it gets a little tricky. I'm going to say, I think your book may not say this. We're going to say height, width, and depth. Sometimes, I'm going to give you 2 words for height. Sometimes height is referred to also as length. Okay, so height, I didn't mean to put the parentheses there. And then I'm going to put a parentheses and put length. Because sometimes height and length are considered the same thing. Width, how wide it is. And depth is maybe the term your book doesn't use. What does your book say? I'm not looking at my book and I just spelled depth wrong. T-H. D-E-P-T-H. Michael, what does it say in your book? Do they use the word depth? Do they use the word width?
Yeah.
Do they use the word height? No, they use length. Okay, either one of those are acceptable. You will find both of them. And if you are shipping a package with UPS, they're going to use H. So that's why I kind of want to give you both of those terms. I guess we could put an L here in parentheses. Okay, and then the last thing I would like you to have on here, these are pretty simple notes. The last thing I would like you to have is some examples. And these are all going to correlate to your shapes. So what are some examples?
The cube. A cube.
A cube would be a good one. Yep. Draw your square. Draw those diagonal lines back there. These need to be vertical. And this needs to be horizontal. That's a crummy cube. All right. What else? You could do a pyramid. That's what we're studying right now in art history. We're in Egypt right now. A cylinder. And of course, how we show these things is through shading. Correct? Correct. All right, so that's number 10. Any questions? Almost everything in real life is a form. Almost everything in this classroom is a form. So sometimes when we're talking about a form, we're talking about a real form. Sometimes we're talking about an illusion of form. Are these real forms here? No. We've created that illusion because by doing what? By using shading, right? And therefore, it would appear, even though they're flat, we know realistically they're flat, it would appear they have form to them. So how do we create that illusion of form? How do we know that that ball right there is a form and not a flat circle? This one right here. I've been experimenting with my fingernails. Do you like them? I was trying to figure out a color. And crackle, I put this on too thick. All right. More about that later. I digress. I want you to look at this one. How is this one different from this one?
The shading.
The shading, right. So why does that make it look like a form? Yeah, and why does it make it look like that? Why are, I have to get my forms out. Hold on. Coming back. See if I can find them. Yes. So here's some forms. Now we know, realistically, that every single side, if I turn it, is white, right? I don't know how well this looks on the screen in back of me, but anyway. So right now, though, this side right here looks gray, and this looks white. Whoops, this looks white, okay? Right? Is that true? If I turn it, I have to do this there. Now what happens? You see it? What's white?
The butt.
This part. I have to do this backwards. I'm confused. And which is gray? The top. Okay, so we know realistically that's not true, but why is it changing?
The light.
Because of the light source, right. So depending on what gets the most light, it looks the whitest and the other part looks gray, right? Okay, so that's the idea. Okay, for number 11, what's your assignment for number 11? So this is what you have to have done through by when? Wednesday, that's right. Okay. So what I want you to do for Wednesday is going to be just a drawing of a form.
Wait, this is due Wednesday too?
No. Now we're going beyond what's due on Wednesday. I will always have your assignments are always going to be ahead of time. Okay, you can do this two ways. You can use drawing pencils and do shading. You can actually take one of these forms. If you do that, I would like you to take one or two forms. Probably somebody that's going for the 4 is going to do a couple of them. Set them up. We have the lamps there. You can shine some light on them. And you can draw them with pencil. One thing to be aware of is back here, we have drawing pencils in these colored drawers, and they range looking for our blenders. So if you choose to draw by hand, I've got some new stumps too. If you choose to draw by hand, you're going to use drawing pencils. What is the difference between? Oops, they're mixed up. A 6H. I have a 6H and a 6B. Anybody know the difference? Yes.
Oh, dang it, no, just kidding. I know that, like, the H's or whatever, like, that's usually what they are. Like, you go, like, up the number and up the softer the lead is, like, the higher the number.
Good.
I don't know what H would be.
Okay, so you got H and you got B. All right, now we'll be right in the middle of the spectrum. Okay, and over here is H, and this goes toward B's. So it's going to go 2, you don't have to write this down, I'm just demonstrating, 4, 6, etc. These are getting harder, and therefore they will make softer marks. Or I'll say lighter. Let's change that. Lighter marks. Going this way, 2, 4, 6. Can you already see the difference? See how much darker this is? This is going to be darker. This is going to be softer. It's going to be a softer lead. It's going to make a darker mark. So probably what you want to do is when you're first sketching your forms, you probably would use like a 6H to get your basic outline here. So if you want to erase it, it's not a big deal when you mess up. And then you come in with your 6B pencil. And what did I do with the blenders? Some of these blenders you'll find you don't even have to use a pen. You can almost use the pencil, because see how this has already got lead all over it. So I can actually come in. I didn't do a good job of smooth that out. I scribbled too much. I'm trying to hurry. And so you're just going to pull that shadow out so it just gradually changes. And then you get, it's because my lead's not sharpened. I hear restless noises and whispering. Now, if you want it to look like a form, one thing you don't want to do is have a line here, right? Because the forms do not have outlines. So the darkest line would be here. And then it would gradually get lighter as you go around. I am not going to show you in great detail how to shade and all that. That's what you would learn if you take a drawing class. So by the time you get over here, you should barely see it. What's so funny? You guys are distracting me. Okay, so here's another option though, and I'm going to stop